guess what we're going to do today? We're going to change the oil on Jacob's new truck. The oil we're going to change is on Jacob's new truck. You saw the episode of buying his truck. And now he's going to show us how to change the oil on that.
All right, as far as equipment you're going to need, depending on the vehicle, you may need to raise it up so that you can fit under there. So we've got a jack, a wheel chock, and then some jack stands as well to support the vehicle safely while you're under it. To catch the oil, we've got a drain pan. And then to remove the oil drain plug, we've got a ratchet and then a socket set. You'll need to get the appropriate socket for your vehicle. We've got the oil to replace what we're going to take out. We're going to change the oil filter, so we've got that as well. And then we've got the oil filter wrench down there. So on the 2013 3.5 EcoBoost engine, the oil filler cap is going to be right over here on the driver's side. You're just going to twist that almost a full turn and take it off. You want to do that first because that allows the engine to breathe while you drain the oil out the bottom so it can drain faster. So we're down here under the truck now and we've found the oil drain pan, right? It's right here. And in my case, the drain plug is on this corner that's right near me. And so you want to double check that you got the right socket. In our case, it's a 15 millimeter. You got your drain pan in place. Oh, we got it. The nice thing about doing your own oil change, you can save a little money and you know it's done right. And we're getting close. We're at the point where the oil is starting to come out. Right there. Okay. And just let it come out. So you can see it's still coming out in a steady stream. We're gonna wait until it's just barely dripping before we put the oil drain plug back in. So even though it's coming out in just a narrow stream still, it's not a broken stream, so there's still more that I'm going to let out. Okay, so you can see now we've got it dripping, and so we're ready to put the drain plug back in. Okay. So it's important to always start bolts by hand so you don't cross thread anything. So now we've got it finger tight. I'm going to go back, and you don't need to torque this one down like crazy, but you do want to tighten it down a little bit. Okay.
So the challenge we have now is finding the filter.
The oil filter.
The oil filter. So look it up online. That's where it is.
This is my engine. It's the 3.5 EcoBoost.
It's that white thing right there.
Right here. You can see what an oil filter looks like.
A clean, unused.
That is a brand new oil filter.
And it's supposed to be down there somewhere. And Jacob's gonna find it. Okay, the noise you're hearing is the catch pan being slid underneath where the oil filter will come off. There's his hand worming its way back in. Is it coming?
Yeah, it's loose.
Oh, good. Oil filters usually aren't that hard to untorque and to torque because they have a wider body and you use that wrench to do it. So you get good leverage on those. And there goes the filter out the bottom. And now, what does it look like from down here?
It's a lot tighter down here. So I just went ahead and dipped my finger in the new oil and got some on there. Seal this back up so it doesn't spill. Set that out of the way.
So did you take some of your shield off?
Yeah, it's got some twist cap locker things.
Okay.
Where am I?
On the engine block.
Found it.
Got it? On there.
Okay, so the most important thing about putting the oil filter on is you never want to use the wrench to tighten it down. You just get it as tight as you can get it with your hand. There we go. And then for my case, we're going to put this rubber sheathing back up.
Reusable Christmas tree type things?
Kinda. They're not Christmas tree though. They just twist. So that's the old filter right there, old and dirty, and we're letting it drain before we box it up to recycle it. So now we've got everything down below done. We got the oil drained, we got the drain plug back in, we got the filter changed and the new filter on. We're gonna go ahead and start filling from the fill cap on top of the engine. We got the funnel in the hole now, and so we're just gonna go ahead and fill it on up.
Now, how much you put in before you take a reading?
Well, so mine is 6 quart. That was 1 quart that I put in before. This is a 5 quart container. When you're working on a vehicle, especially doing an oil change, paper towel is gonna be your best friend. And for those of you who might not know, this is what the end of an oil dipstick looks like. You can see right there, it's got those 2 markings, those 2 holes right there. And on this side, it's got the hash marks to go with it. The top hole right here, this is gonna be full. That's gonna be your max level. And this is gonna be your low level. Ideally, you're somewhere in here in the middle range. So to check the level, what you're gonna do, you're just gonna stick the dipstick all the way in, make sure it seats, and bring it back out after wiping it off like we just did. And you can see we're not even on the dipstick yet, so I gotta keep filling.
Yeah. But you really don't want to overfill either,
because then you gotta go down below and drain some out. So right there you can see we're right at the top of the hash marks. We're just shy of it. So with that, I'm going to reinstall the dipstick. Just seat it all the way down. We're going to remove the funnel. Back on. I'm going to run the engine for a little bit so that the engine oil gets moving around, loosens up a little bit, gets into the filter because the filter's empty right now because we just put it on. And once it does that, the level's probably going to go down a little bit, so we'll recheck after that. So now that we've run the engine a little bit, we got oil filtered throughout the new filter. We're going to check our level again. And because we just ran the engine, we're going to wipe the dipstick off all the way, stick it back in and check one more time.
We decided it was about a half quart low.
Mm-hmm. We're about halfway up the hashes now.
All the oil's in. New paper towel. The final check, at least we expect.
We're right there, right towards the top of the hashes.
That's good.
That is good enough for us.
Questions for you.
Yeah.
How much did this stuff cost?
The oil was about $25. The filter was another $5. The catch pan, I believe it was about $15.
And a funnel is probably a couple bucks.
Yeah.
All the materials were 50 bucks?
About.
50 bucks. One of them, the catch pan, is a one-time thing.
Same with the funnel.
And the funnel. So you had about $30 in disposable materials.
Yep, for a synthetic oil change.
When I changed the oil in my car, I take it to a shop and it cost me about 40 bucks. 40 bucks versus 30 bucks and do it yourself. But you like it for the hands-on experience.
I like the hands-on, and I'm pretty sure you get conventional oil.
Yeah.
Which won't last as long and it won't keep the engine as clean.
This is true. This is true. I do get conventional oil.
It's important to note that you can't just throw your oil out. You got to catch it and then take it to a cycle that'll recycle it properly. And for us, any local auto parts store will take the oil, so we're going to transfer it back to the cans we bought it in.
Good. Taking the used oil to the recycle center, which is the local auto parts store. Last part of the process, and that is the oil change. Now that's the way Jacob does it, and that's what he did on his truck over there. The way I do it is to take it to an auto shop and let them change oil for me while I do something in the lobby. So you can do it yourself, you can pay someone else to do it, but we want you to know how to do it so that you have the confidence, the ability, and the know-how to do it. Sons, always remember the 2 lessons from every video. The first one is you can succeed even though your dad's not in your daily life. And number 2, always remember your stepdad loves you. I'll see you on the next video.
This is the most stubborn oil plug I've ever taken out.
And you've taken out how many?
2. You leaving me to film your content? How did I do this before? It's not fun being under a car.
This is a truck.
It's more fun being under a truck. I'm coming out of here now.
And what are we doing here, Jacob?
It's still draining.
Oh, it's draining. Oh, okay. It's like, this is like as exciting as watching grass grow.
It's so fun doing your own maintenance, Nick.
And that is the hand of my son unscrewing an oil filter.
You can see we've got the oil filter in, or a funnel, not a filter.
And there goes a noisy car that needs a muffler or a new engine or something.